Hi, I'm Shaunelle, and welcome to the next episode of my podcast, Crap, Now What? The spirit of this podcast is to share ideas and thoughts along the financial services avenue, as well as weave in the concepts of how our emotions, our thinking, how our actions also play a part in our financial health. And that's why this podcast is called Crap Now What? I am what they call an untaxable wealth and retirement strategist. I own my own company and it's called Blazing Star Strategies. Now, what I want to share with you is that if this is the first time that you've come across this podcast, you're going to probably be a little bit surprised at how some of these concepts are woven together. They are only my opinion. To be honest, these are my opinion. It's not necessarily meant to be specific financial advice or even life advice. It's an idea that I'd like to share and at least put in front of you. That said, I will also say, if you're one of my current clients or if you are already a regular listener or viewer, that's exciting because I'm going to keep trying to bring you fresh and new ideas as well. Today, we're going to talk about an amazing event that we had this week. I've mentioned before that there are some workshops that I've hosted, and this particular one that we did happened to be in, well, technically speaking, Springdale, Arkansas, but in that Bentonville, Arkansas area, gorgeous, gorgeous part of our country. I had not been in that area in many, many years. And what we did, and I say we because I had the pleasure of meeting my team in person. I've mentioned Michaela and Hans a few times. If you ever make it to the end of one of my podcasts, I'm talking about them and calling them out as being an amazing social media team, marketing team for me. And the fact that they own Ren's Marketing together is very exciting. But I got to see them in person, and we selected a venue to host Women in Wealth and work together for this event. They did an amazing grassroots campaign, and it was one of the most successful workshops that I've been a part of. We had people at this Women in Wealth. We even had some husbands, especially on night 2, that came to the event because they felt that the topics that we talked about were of value, which who could complain about that? I was so excited about it. The event we chose was Women in Wealth with a wine tasting. And we had this at Hail Fellow Well Met. It does not roll off the tongue very easily. And we found out that that phrase is actually a British phrase, a way to greet people. So it's got some history in there that the owners have used as the backbone of this particular venue. The venue did an amazing job. It was gorgeous. A nice little area where there were seats, and we were able to take over the whole venue. And throughout our time that we were chatting, the wine was poured. There was a tasting of 3 different types, and we had a theme of the Italian night, the second night. What we talked about, though, and what got the people that were there talking, and why I'm still so excited about this concept, and we are already downloading our ideas for next time around. But Women and Wealth is not necessarily just about women, but I'm very passionate about sharing concepts, as I've said, because I think that wealth gets measured. If you've heard me before on a podcast or any of my other social media posts, I believe that wealth gets measured not just in dollars and cents, but also in the way we spend time with our family, how we spend time in retirement, what we do, and how we enjoy life. And that's a very important concept. And so I focus on helping people to have and start to understand that there are options for saving money, planning for the future, and having more of their money in the future. So we talk about at these workshops, and we did this week on Monday and Tuesday, just a few days ago, about the concepts of protecting money, growing money, and maximizing money. That's the long and the short of the discussion. And then we start talking about the concepts, and I shared with the group the idea that there are products out there, there are ways to take money and have it grow at a market level rate without it actually being in the market, to help protect those dollars so that they're no longer subject to market volatility. So I'm giving you a little bit of a recap because it was so exciting to see the guests at each of these events just get to know each other. They became friends with new people. They were very interested in the ideas of learning something new. And I'm just kind of still beside myself with the fact that this was such an amazing event. Other things that I shared with the audience were concepts that I've shared with you on this podcast. And in fact, I hope that some of the people that were there have and will eventually maybe tune in to a podcast episode, because nobody wants to get to that short part of their runway in retirement with not enough money. And I run into this every day. I do talk to high net worth people and help high net worth people untax their dollars. But I also talk to people every day that are concerned that they don't have enough money for retirement. And so then the spirit of that becomes, how do we end up and how do we take what dollars we do have and untax them or protect them at least from market volatility so that there's the most money possible and available in retirement. And these concepts also are designed to people in their earlier years and help set the course for decisions made early so that we don't run into those challenges about untaxing the dollars later. That's in an ideal world. So back to the spirit of this podcast. The spirit of this podcast and for the workshops in person is the idea of having people be informed rather than uninformed. And that is what we do here in this Crap Now What? And this is what we're doing in the workshops. So stay tuned. We are going to continue to have the workshops in some format or another, and we are fine-tuning some of that. Just to be honest, that's what you do. You never just sit and try to make it just continue to work. We are taking all the best things and we're going to continue to bring those to you. If you do like these concepts, stick with the podcast. Watch for us on our socials. Anything that says Blazing Star Strategies, go blazingstar.com, and please like, share, follow, share it with someone else. We can change people's lives and their retirement with these very straightforward strategies, and I'm so passionate about it, and I look forward to the next episodes of the podcast. There are going to be times where we talk about these strategies and break them down. We're also going to keep talking about why we need to pay attention to strategies, because tax dollars and everything does change over time. And that's another very important concept as well. Thank you again to Michaela and Hans for helping to put together a really fun event. We're sharing some of the photos from the event because it was so much fun. And thank you too to Caleb, who helps to edit and post these videos. He's with Sal Media, an amazing team. And thank you for joining. Okay, So if you're still listening to this podcast at this stage, this is the boring stuff. This is the disclaimer. And I'm doing this because, yes, I do care about who you are and what you do with your money. And I'm going to be here to help give you some ideas. However, these are just ideas, they're theories. Sometimes these are ideas that are coming into my head based on what's going on in the world at this time. And they're not necessarily specific financial advice. I do encourage you, if you decide to do anything with your money, make any changes, seek the advice of a professional. You're welcome to follow up with me or with someone else, and make sure that what you're doing is something that fits with you, your lifestyle, your finances, and it's a strategy that's specific to you. Again, these are ideas and concepts. Do not necessarily take these as specific financial advice and follow it directly without having a full education.